The morning after my grandfather's funeral, my older brother, Daniel, gathered the entire family in the farmhouse. "We all know Grandpa wanted me to take over," he announced confidently. Nobody questioned him. After all, Daniel had always been the favorite. He wore expensive suits while I spent every weekend helping Grandpa repair fences, feed livestock, and harvest crops. Grandpa used to smile and say, "The land remembers who truly loves it." I never understood those words. Until everything changed. A week later, Daniel arrived with real estate agents. He had already found a wealthy developer willing to buy the entire farm for millions. "This place is old," he said. "We're turning it into luxury villas." I refused to sign the paperwork. This was Grandpa's life. Daniel laughed. "Your opinion doesn't matter." A few days later, I discovered the sale had already gone through. Someone had forged my signature. My relatives celebrated the deal with champagne. They called Daniel a genius. I packed my belongings and quietly left the farmhouse. For months I worked on a neighboring ranch trying to forget everything. Then one afternoon an elderly lawyer named Mr. Collins arrived. "I've been searching for you." He handed me a weathered notebook that had belonged to Grandpa. Inside was a handwritten note. "If Daniel ever sells the farm without your full permission, give this notebook to my lawyer." My heart raced. Hidden inside the notebook was an original land agreement signed decades earlier. Grandpa had divided the property into 2 legal sections. The farmhouse belonged to both grandsons. But the underground water rights, mineral rights, and agricultural licenses belonged only to me. Without those rights, the land was nearly worthless for development. Mr. Collins smiled. The buyer had no idea. Within days, construction stopped. Heavy equipment sat abandoned. The developer demanded answers. Daniel insisted everything was legal. Then the court received Grandpa's original documents. The forged signature. The hidden ownership records. The exclusive land rights. Everything pointed in one direction. Daniel. The judge immediately suspended the sale. The developer sued Daniel for millions in damages. My family couldn't believe it. They had celebrated too early. One evening, Daniel appeared outside my small farmhouse. For the first time in my life. He looked afraid. "I made a mistake." I remained silent. "We can fix this together." I looked at the muddy boots on my porch. The same kind Grandpa always wore. "No," I answered quietly. "You made your choice." Weeks later, the court officially canceled the fraudulent sale. Ownership returned to our family. But Daniel's legal debts remained. He lost his expensive house. His luxury truck. Even his savings disappeared paying court settlements. The judge offered me full control of the farm after reviewing Grandpa's final instructions. I accepted. But I had no interest in becoming wealthy overnight. Instead of selling the land again, I expanded Grandpa's dream. We planted new orchards. Opened a farmer's education center. Created jobs for local families. Children visited every weekend to learn where food really came from. One afternoon a young boy asked me why I never sold the land for millions. I smiled. Because some things are worth more than money. Years later, the farm became one of the region's most successful agricultural businesses. People traveled from across the country to learn our methods. Reporters often asked about the family conflict. I never spoke badly about Daniel. The truth had already spoken louder than I ever could. One autumn morning I stood beneath Grandpa's favorite oak tree. The wind carried the smell of fresh soil across the fields. I finally understood his words. The land remembers who truly loves it. He wasn't talking about dirt. He was talking about loyalty, respect, and honesty. Daniel thought ownership came from paperwork. Grandpa knew it came from character. In the end, my brother chased quick money and lost everything. I protected Grandpa's legacy and gained something far greater than wealth. I gained a purpose. The farmhouse was still standing. The fields were greener than ever. And every sunrise reminded me that greed may win for a season, but integrity leaves a legacy that lasts for generations.